Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, Bear, I tell you, that was a miserable game to watch last night. It was a miserable one, to say the least. Can't beat someone when you turn the ball over 4 times. Somehow we did it against the Texans when we turned over 5 times. We can't recreate that magic again. Oh well. We move forward, and we continue with... I don't know why anybody watches this, because, God, my voice acting isn't great. And I know it's not. But here we go. Let's go getting back into it. Okay. What are you doing here? Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating. But the object you're looking for is already... Okay. Don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it. I blame Gumshoe, so do I. Take his pay. Detective Bad, we found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. Isn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've more than solved this case already. Don't you? You'll see. It all depends on whether your logic holds. Oh? I see we even have a viewer in the gallery. And why, even Mr. Bad is here. A viewer in the gallery? I am hardly just a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must be, without a doubt, Detective Gumshoe. Is that all you have? Yeah, and that's all there is to my conclusion, and this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there is always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It may be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court, in this case, don't you think? How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony. My logic is correct, and I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is. Everyone sans the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirmed that there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth. But of course. So we need to confront her logic head on right now. She should focus on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeve. Alright.
Hold it!
A suspect. But I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi had already been proven. Are you joking, Edgeworth? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that is correct. But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking. See, she's done her research well. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have been thoroughly investigated, right?
Hold it!
Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. This crushed eyebrows and lie on your forehead and back. Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhausted, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe is standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden? That's the first place everyone looked, silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked at every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. I really did check everything that could be relevant to the case.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape? Of course, I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, a place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal will be using it to escape. Just common sense. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future.
Hold it!
I think it's unshakable, but to me, there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I've already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. Before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you on the subject. But you were there with the but there you were. But there were witnesses for you. There is your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. I was the daughter of Manfred von Kammer, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a bailiff or anyone else. The only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty? What about them? Have we looked into what people were doing during that span of time? What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard the gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of when the crime took place. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1, care to explain how that could have been fabricated? The tape.
Take that!
That tape. Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell, the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean that the sound you heard was the gunshot in the video. But I do, which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of, too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. It played from the beginning. If it played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Objection!
Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew. Didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. We had no idea until a little while ago. That's right. And if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet, we heard the gunshot clear as day. And that's it. End the story. But it's not. She was able to hear a gunshot from the soundproof room. The window was open. There's actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Oh, you beautiful slut. What's up, Louis? Now, we know the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also open.
Objection!
It's probably just coincidence that they were both open at the same time.
Objection!
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Window open in lobby number 1. The answer is that a certain person did something that caused the window to be open. That person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. This double murder is, Miss Yu.
Take that!
Miss Callisto Yu. I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rowe. What? You indict me? Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she is the killer? I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now? Of course I do, Edgeworth. My argument must not be tight enough yet. Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance. Quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? You argue that the window was opened, however, you have proof it was I who did that. Furthermore, you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime. Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this. Especially with logic as full of holes as yours. Where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second or the truth will blow away. Now is the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test. Right, press everything. Get as much information, see if anything's added, and then we present. Evidence. All I need to do is have some prints and analyze them we know straight away. Be my guest. She knows as though she has the room to maneuver. Which means, even if we were able to lift prints, they'd only show that it was someone else, but why that someone else was forced to open the window? That's simple logic. I'll try presenting that piece of evidence. I have nothing to lose. What's wrong? The scratched eyebrows, lines on your forehead, they're all back. More importantly, are you going to be okay not running a fingerprint analysis? Yes, I'll be fine. Oh, well, in that case, I'll just continue with my testimony, alright? I think I'm gonna press again. Luckily, we can blow through this. We've already seen it. Go back, and we present the bottle of perfume that she dropped.
Objection!
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? Ah, Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. Not exactly what I recommend for boys, you know. This isn't mine. That is right, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Bad, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at the least this much for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad. And that you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume? While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad. Okay, I know. You also knew that if you spilled it, he would naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Come now, I've already told you that's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was a dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
Objection!
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean... It's you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Isn't that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have put been thought up by you, Miss You. You accused me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap this absurd case up once and for all. When a murder where a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose your forgery of evidence is expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Alice, her testimony is flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking information, I'll just draw it out of her. I don't think I'm gonna get anything out of this, but I'll just press everything. I'm not getting penalized for it, so. I think I already explained the significance of that earlier. I only confirmed that I did spill perfume. That's all. You would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill? Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character. Do as you like, but as for me, I believe. You believe? I believe. You are the true culprit in this case. My, you're enthusiastic. Of course, I should have guessed. Gross forgery evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma.
Hold it!
I formally request that you desist in your attack against my mentor. Yes, or we'll sue you for defamation. All I'm doing is telling the truth. No, maybe we're like spreading gossip. Although, your adamant denials are, shall we say, just adding fuel to the fire. How dare you? Say such a thing. Calm down, little girl. Don't let her get to you. Why'd you have to ruin my fun? Now, shall I continue? Yes, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday.
Hold it!
And why exactly could you not have killed him? I was just about to testify to that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth. Preferences have no bearing on what is at hand. Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we?
Objection!
Monsieur, you will desist in this tomfoolery and return to your testimony. And Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, then I won't show you any mercy. Sorry, Monsieur, please continue with your testimony. Sure. As I was saying, I couldn't have possibly killed Mr. Faraday. Girl, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Hold it!
That's right. She will never escape. She really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. She must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Monsieur. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. Miles, what do you think you're doing? I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing. Huh? I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. Well, I suppose it's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key Yatagarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest. I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony. Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times as you'd like. But you can't kill anyone with a simple key. Yeah, you can. This key was also a knife!
Objection!
Monsieur, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Yatagarasu sent to the police. However, it may look like a key at first glance. It is, in fact, has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yatagarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. Well, with the Atagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the Atagarasu. I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, he could be lying for all I know. You would even now still feign ignorance. I'm not feigning anything. We can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? Hey, Mr. Onkarma, I've heard some very interesting rumors around him. Why are you mocking my papa? You dare salute the good name of my mentor. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing? You satisfied now? Of course, you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Atagarasu's key are one and the same. Though, as somebody like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement and who would never have been privy to this trick, would never have known about it to begin with. Furthermore, the something that the Atagarasu sent to the police. How'd you have knowledge as to what it was? Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transforms.
Objection!
What he's saying is simply not possible. Oh, and why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. From within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection!
I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Objection!
Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. It would have been highly classified information even within the police force. It is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday not have felt the need to share such information with his opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at a time like this? She's probably just realized the flaw in her logic and is actually in panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the knife. Do you now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? I will. I'll wipe the smile off your face by the time we're through. So, the moment of truth. Secret behind the Atagarasu's key. Only one person would have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Let's start. The Atagarasu's key could change into a knife. Probably this guy? It's either him or it's Faraday.
Take that!
Nope, not him. It's the best day of the day. Now are we ready to call it a day yet? Mistaken. No, just from the get-go, and that would be Atagarasu probably.
Take that!
There's only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key. And that is the person who sent the Atagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Atagarasu herself. Are you saying that his lawyer is the great thief Atagarasu? It's you. You used Mr. Rell to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You, who would profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why do something like this? Oh, and she's losing it. Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than when I sneak into someplace. You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me! Callisto, you! Callisto, you, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yatagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. But you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. Once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged up by Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. And Mr. Rel caves to only two things, money and authority. Just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. But didn't you say that you despise criminals? But I do really. But do I really? You. Have you forgotten about the KGA incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman would? So then it was your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent. Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagarasu by using this Yatagarasu's key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 with the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. But in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. Then let me hold the Yatagarasu's key, just like that. You never noticed that I had changed the key into a knife inside that plastic bag. He didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. How could you kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought I'd give him a quick and painless death. But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rel as well. I believe I mentioned when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest, something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and how that led to the killer to think about setting them up as though they'd kill each other. And the trick with the surveillance tape. Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape. This is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you? How could you betray your client? Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of who's first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member, Daid Man. You ordered a hit job? You still haven't figured it out. Mr. Ban, I had Daid Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination? It can't be. You're... That's right. I am a member of the smuggling ring. How could this... You don't mean you're working with Manny Kochin too, do you? Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know. The Yatagarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. And the Yatagarasu is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Yatagarasu, you can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know the Yatagarasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. Damn, she's gonna update the autopsy report! You're really too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatagarasu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'd still gladly take it. You mean, the key was your real target? And even after I gave you such great advice, Didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence. You two, get down! Ah! My body, I can't move. Hey, mister, to your right! You! Are you alright, Francisca? I am perfectly fine, Miles. Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's okay, unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot! Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct, and they should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. They say he's right, but he looks quite shaken. More importantly, boy, I mean Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma. Are you two hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I am also alright. Thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and, hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Detective Bat, sir. I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened from Big Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now, don't ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops. Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? I single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere once snarky comment. I should get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you as it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bat, and take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Hey, Jay, what's going on? Welcome in. Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes. Well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. The judge. I can't believe how much trouble I caused with you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. Oh, it was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor. Well, even if we didn't have his honest testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, as long as you're not fired. You should work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. She did? Oh, what is it? That Kay left for me. Proof of their friendship. It was the Swiss roll. She gave one to get.
Take that!
It's the courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. Swiss roll Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. Although one Kay saved never really reached her father. It would appear that her sentiments have touched the hearts of this detective. He's so happy. It is so he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to her. That was good, pal. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I'm gonna thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? We just now noticed. Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go in search of her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first. You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. We should go home too, Miles. We have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective. Roger, sir, and don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well. I'll, be counting on you. So the trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I've tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... So, do you remember me now? Yes, I remember everything. Okay, it's been a while. Okay, you sure grew up a lot. Of course. Thank goodness I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time? Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't able to come back here all that much. Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're all right. So does that make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and...
Hold it!
Actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Looks like we're about to start ad, so I'll give it just a second so that non-subs can relax. Or so the non-subs don't miss anything. So give us a second, guys. We're about to start a 2-minute ad break. Yes, it should be going here any second. Don't want anyone to miss anything.
Penis, 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 penis.
There it is. And there's the ads.
Don't worry, we've all noticed what a giant nerd you are.
Alright, yeah. We're good. We got about a minute left out. That's what everybody doing right now. I'm just gonna take a little bit of drink of water so that way I can relax. I hope everyone's having a great time. Like I said, I know this isn't always the most, this isn't the most, fun thing to watch, but regardless, I appreciate everybody being here, you know. So I got Tango I'm playing tonight. Welcome back, everybody. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father. Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu? Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure. But that's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression of my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now. Alright then, how do you explain this? It's a way of disarming any security system the user's choosing. Yep, this little thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father.
Wow. Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, he was really a great thief, huh?
Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed. And the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently.
Someone other than you?
Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Here, miss, take a look at this article.
The Yatagarasu sent the embassy. A calling card?
Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto Yu lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something that gaudy card out.
The Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves.
Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up, and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you're saying that I have your father's and misuse identities backwards?
Yes, because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace.
Kay. You're so honorable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal.
Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit.
Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman.
That evil woman? You mean Callisto Yu?
I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I am not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid.
Then you mean...
Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Isn't that great, Kay?
Yeah, it sure is, Gummy.
Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. What is with our chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Burn Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagarasu's real goal. It would all come to light in the day after I made that promise to Kay. I wonder if this is the final chapter. 2 cards. One of the black raven and one of the white raven. A country torn in 2. One to the west and one to the east. When those which were split are made whole again, the truth will reveal itself. It's the Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu's here! You. Accursed Yatagarasu! K! You. Thank you for the hydrate, Jay. I'll take care of that right now. It's so nice, almost dreamlike, to finally have the chance to relax and sip some tea. Especially after what a whirlwind the past few days have been. On my return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. Next day, I investigated kidnapping and a murder of a Gatewater theme park. And later that night, a detective's dead body welcomed me back to my office, along with a thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. How did I manage to find myself in the middle of so many cases back to back? Well, at least I have today. All I ask is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. Mr. Edgeworth! Oh, Mr. Edgeworth! This is big! Big, I tell you! Hey, what's wrong with you? Where's your enthusiasm? And then suddenly the phrase, the fragility of dreams, comes to mind. What are you talking about, fragile dreams? Come on, let's go! The fake Yatagarasu isn't going to just find herself, you know. Well, if you must know, it's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fake. Say what? Unfortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But even now, we're still looking for this criminal. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far. So I must insist that you be patient on this one, Kay. What's with you today? Are you sure you aren't sleep talking to me right now? Anyway, I've got something much more important that I want you to see. Oh, and that is? Take a look at this. On March 14th, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. That's quite a bold declaration to send to an embassy. I suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this. The other card mentions is today. Today, huh? Come on, we've got to hurry. The embassy awaits. As what it is quite an urgent matter. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating? Well, it's some really special country, and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. But never mind that. Where's all your energy? Why are you so lackadaisical today? I'm not, Kay. You're just too wound up. Oh, then you should get too wound up too. Because this might just be our chance to catch that woman. I mean, Miss You. The woman who killed Kay's father, Byrne Faraday, 7 years ago. It was still you. Maybe the great thief Yatagarasu. And then disappeared from the courtroom. She makes me so mad, the phony. Everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Until the company's underhanded dealings are made public. The target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome. Yatagarasu's card that's shown in this article looks to me as though it could be genuine. See? That's the thing. Whoever it is, the person who isn't the real deal but has knowledge of the Yatagarasu. If this isn't a clue that that woman's involved, then nothing is. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Out the door you go. Wait, there are a few preparations I must make before we go. There's something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. It's a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder why. What's up? Any reason why you're boring a hole through the newspaper with your eyes? No, no reason at all. Very well. Seeing as how Miss You is already somewhat of a special nature to me, I agree there is some merit to be found in investigating this. I knew you'd come around. By the light of this night's glorious moon, we are ready! Ready to embark on our nightly outing. And this is where our tale begins! What a coincidence. Who would have thought that a Steel Samurai stage show would ever be held at such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy? Yeah, the climax is really awesome. Steel Samurai, Sushi Slash. I got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out. I suppose it is really more impactful to watch a show in person than on television. I have to say, though, this embassy is set up kind of funny. I mean, they have two countries sharing the same building? Well, as you said yourself, this place and the country's houses are very special. Even this theater is special in that it is a neutral zone shared by the two countries. So let me get this straight. The Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries? The one that's called the Kingdom of Alabast, right? Yes, it would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well. Seems that way. But you know who I'm really into? The Jammin' Ninja. Republic of Babal is sponsoring a Jammin' Ninja. Republic of Babal is sponsoring a Jammin' Ninja stage show. That's something for fangirls like me. We totally gotta see that too, Mr. Edgeworth. The Jammin' Ninja show is gonna kick the Steel Samurai show rear end. You know, ever since I first met this girl, I always had this inkling. What she really wants to be is not a thief, but rather a ninja. So anyway, about today's event, what's it called again? The Kingdom of Alabast versus the Republic of Babel Goodwill Jubilee. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babel. These two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature. And it was called the Principality of Cadobia. Is everything alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I'm alright. Moving on. After a period of civil unrest, the country split in two, though signs of their past remain. For example, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day. Cadobia, huh? KG-8 incident, and what was referred to as the Tekken KG-8 incident, in which an embassy staff member was murdered. Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Cadobia. In the 7 years that have passed, the country may have split in two. However, the Atakarasu still set the calling card here. What could it all mean? Mr. Edgeworth, I know you're thinking about something. Oh, excuse me. What were we talking about again? If you could please stop spacing out on me. Anyway, we were talking about the Alabast versus Babel Goodwill Jubilee. The two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other. But supposedly they've been trying really hard to make up recently. That's why they decided to hold this event. If that's the case, then why the versus?
Give me some credit, you chode!
Right? Also, both countries claim to own the real Primadeus statue, a national treasure both. They're planning to have them publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal. Hey, I need to remind you to take care and not succumb to your thieving desires. Well, when it comes to treasure, I can't really help myself. You know that. She's had to be better, but you better be saying that in jest. Hey, I can read your body language, you know, and you've got it all wrong. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell you. I know. And although we don't know if the Atakarasu will really make an appearance, I suppose we should still spend some time examining this place. This is the perfect angle. Go, my image! Travel across the wave world and into every television set around the globe. Well, I suppose to appearing on TV might serve your ambition better. You know, I've seen a lot of these shows in a bunch of other places, but today's show was like they went for a complete comedy, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, let's move the Steel Samurai Sushi. I couldn't help but laugh, I know, right? Pink Princess is moving really stiff. In the middle of the show, I could swear that I heard her hip crack. Oh, I know. I totally thought that too. Pink Princess has a bad hip. Seriously? Is that what they're thinking, you know?
Suppose there is no graceful way to end this conversation. Man, 10 more minutes. No, 5 more minutes. Isn't it really bad for me to spend time doing this? No, please just tell me what I should do.
Appear to be troubled by something. May I be of any assistance?
Leave me alone. I'm trying to figure out the right time to talk to that girl over there. If I mess up, it'll be because I'm talking to you now.
Somehow, I get the feeling he's about to fall flat on his face.
Let's just do as he wishes and leave him alone. There's something I can help you with. I was wondering what's beyond these doors. It is the Alabastan Embassy. Now, unless you have some business with the embassy, I suppose I can't really claim to have any business with the embassy right now.
Well, you don't have to be so rude about it, Mr. Guard.
And we're here reporting live from the Theatrum Neutralis. As you see, tonight's audience is full of enthusiasm. Let's see what this member of the audience has to say. Okay, that was good. Let's do one more run through. Excuse me, when you're ready to film for real, would you mind giving me a call? Since she didn't hear a single word I just said. Oh no, not you! I know her too! This child is watching a video from the first season of The Steel Samurai.
Go! Keep on fighting until your last breath. Go, my hero, the Steel Samurai.
He was Robin singing the theme song, I see. I'll let the child watch in peace. Hello, Miss Lotta.
What in tarnation? Where'd that come on, big scoop. Hey, mister, out of the way. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I seem to remember this woman from somewhere. Yet my instincts are directing me not to engage in conversation with her. That's smart. This would be best after all. That's very smart. You don't want to get in. She's going to come back, isn't she? Is there something I can help you with? I was wondering what's beyond these doors. The Babalese embassy is just behind these doors. So, do you have some business with the embassy? Do you require immediate access? No, that's quite all right. Are you sure, sir? Anyone and everyone is always welcome in the Republic of Babal.
And then, since we're here,
the embassy isn't some sort of theme park, Kay.
You're such a buzzkill.
Yeah, Edgeworth was very smart to just ignore them. Okay, that's good. All right, now give me a dramatic slam right there. Stop! Hey, do you mind? Get out of the way, buddy. Okay, once more in 3, 2, 1, action!
Okay, was that my fault just now? Well, he is obviously working. I guess we should leave him alone.
I don't think there's anything else for me to really investigate the Global Studios. These flowers are sent by Global Studios.
Global Studios?
That's where they filmed the Steel Samurai television show. They've been producing hit after hit recently, so the studio is being remodeled.
Oh, I remember. I read about that in the papers the other day. That mascot of theirs is also getting a facelift too, right? What's his name?
You mean Mrs. Monkey?
Yeah, I thought it was something like that. You really have a great memory.
Ha, never underestimate my power of recollection. It's a very festive atmosphere in here.
Yeah, super festive. I'm really happy for the Kingdom of Alabastan and the Republic of Babal. It's great to see they have reestablished diplomatic relations. The newspapers say that it's almost like the Cadopia once more again.
Perhaps we are bearing witness to a historic moment in time.
Hey, look, there's selling some commemorative merchandise to celebrate this event. Founders Cadopian Biscuits. And over here, they're selling Royal Cadopian Biscuits.
It would seem that they have yet to reconcile their competitive spirits. The national flag of the Republic of Babal is on display here. The crest on it features a butterfly.
It really is rare to see a national flag featuring an animal on it.
Not really. I could list a few different off for you that do.
Okay, then are there any flags with any really chic things on them?
Chic things? That's pretty vague, okay? Although, by my definition, there aren't really any flags that feature a chic object.
Oh, it's too bad. But if there was, I was thinking about stealing it.
And what exactly would you do with a stolen national flag, Kay? The national flag of the Kingdom of Alabastan is on display here. The crest on it features a flower.
Flowers and butterflies are kind of rare motifs for flags, don't you think? Well, when they used to be Godobia, the government used to take pride in its land. Yeah, right. The citizens also love the rich, bountiful nature all around them. That's the design. Hey, if the Steel Samurai got popular enough, do you think they'd put him on their flag? Are you in your right mind, Kay? Maybe the Gemin Ninja would make a better candidate. Don't make me laugh. Only the Steel Samurai deserves such an honor. Yes, Edgeworth is absolutely a big Steel Samurai guy. We have pamphlets about the two embassies here on the stable. It looks weird to me. The country split into two a few years back, so they've shared the building and the grounds at 50-50 ever since. Oh, I guess it's because they don't really have the money to build two separate buildings at once, huh? I should think that's not the reason why, Kay. Suppose I'll just help myself to one of these. What's all the hubbub? Ah! Hey, look, it's the Steel Samurai! And he's got his son, the Iron Infant, with him. May I speak with you for a second? It's the Steel Samurai. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you glaring at him for? Please excuse me. It's just that I've never seen a superhero up close before. Looks like he's written something down for you. To Edgeworth, from Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo Old Tokyo. Wow, an autograph. Pretty cool that you got one, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba is waiting for you. Oh, her name's Lotta Hart, by the way, I remembered. Emperor Alba must take the hand with the ambassador. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for the two countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as a goodwill ambassador from our own country as well. There he goes, off to spread goodwill to the world. He really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, doesn't he? Okay, we're shooting the next segment now. Cue camera. In just a few seconds, the Jamming Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Jamming Ninja will enter the Republic of Babal. He is set to meet with the ambassador of Babal at that time. Ah, the Jamming Ninja show is about to start. We gotta get back to our seats. Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas. Well, this show will change your mind. Come on, we have to hurry. You miss even a second of Jamming Ninja's awesome playing, I'll never forgive you. I suppose you're not about to give me much choice here, do you? Are you, Kay? I could listen to that A Ninja Marked for Death's Lullaby song all day. Superb playing and that sad melody really brought my tear to my eye. In his heart-wrenching voice, now that's the Jamming Ninja's greatest weapon. Ah, those pieces of Jamming Ninja merchandise over there, I gotta have them. I especially want the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine Princess Misola wears in her hair. Anyway, hold it right there, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? You're thinking of going home, aren't you? Well, it doesn't seem like the Yatagarasu will be making an appearance tonight. Most likely, it was a simple prank. No way! I just know the Yatagarasu will show. But I thought you said that the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards. Yeah, I did, but I figured from the very beginning this would wind up being a wild goose chase. But that card she sent was genuine fake calling card. A genuine fake. Well, how can I word this? The Yatagarasu's mark that's on the calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now? Oh, we've got a problem! The Yatagarasu has been spotted in Alabast. What? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Ha! So you finally decided to show yourself, you phony. Hey, what gives? I'm sorry, but I will need to search you before you may enter. What the? Hey, the Steel Samurai just walked straight on through without one. If you don't hurry and let me through, my phony is gonna escape. Okay, a country's embassy is considered to be part of the country itself. You can go through the proper procedures to enter the country. Mr. Edgeworth, gonna enter through the Babal and climb over the wall to Alabasta.
Hold it!
You wouldn't tell a prosecutor straight out that you intend to legally enter another... Kay, are you listening to me? Kay Faraday, and I'm coming through. Yes, and welcome. Someone stop her. Anyone. Kay, where are you? Don't tell me you really did find some way over this fence. Ah! Fire! This is too big for us to handle! Looks like the Yatagarasu came to Babal too! You accursed Yatagarasu! Hey, you had better be alright, whatever you are. I told you it wasn't me!
Hold it!
Okay, are you alright? Do I look alright to you? Now can you do something about this woman? Mr. Edgeworth, Detective Gumshoe. What is the meaning of this? Well, sir, it's, this. It wasn't me! He was already dead when I ran in here, hot on the heels of the fake Yatagarasu. Look, I only came here because I saw a suspicious person at the open-air stage. A suspicious person? A long black coat and a hood over their head. I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw this person, I immediately thought they must be the fake Yatagarasu. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then lost sight of them. I just know this bad person is the one who did it. What you are saying, what are you so worked up over for? There's no reason for you to be this loud. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Agent Lang's secretary. She not, I believe her name was, correct? And if you're making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime. Is that correct? You refuse to answer? I don't need to answer. You are merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority. Hey, pal, just what the heck do you think what you just said mean? If it happened here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction. The end. And seeing as how this building is sitting on our soil, we can investigate wherever we'd like. Unfortunately, Detective, embassies are a different matter. This office is considered to be part of the Republic of Babal, which means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babalese government and the Babalese law, giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights. Extraterrestrial rights, sir? Do you really believe that the truth is out there? Basically, our country's law do not apply inside the embassy of another country. That's what we agreed to by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place, which means we can do little here in this situation. No way, sir! Please leave this matter in Interpol's hands and go home. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, you're not Mr. Edgeworth! In that case, allow me to join your investigation. Miss Von Karma! Ambassador Palino, I truly appreciate you allowing me to join this investigation. It's really nothing. Manny was my secretary, so of course I want some help as much as you to help as much as I can. It's a blessing that we just were able to make it here so quickly. Francisca. Well, never imagined that I'd meet you here of all places. This is an embassy, meaning that you have no authority to conduct.
Hold it!
Already? What is it? Ambassador Palino. And you are? I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case as Miss Von Karma's assistant. Assistant? Miles, what the heck do you think you're... Please, I implore you, Ambassador Palino. Very well. I'll be counting on the two of you, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. What did you mean by you'll be Miss Von Karma's assistant? I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't become Francisca's assistant, I can't participate in this investigation. Say you go again, running that mouth with the aloof expression on your face. Francisca, please. I don't know what you're planning quite yet, but at least I do know one thing, that you are now my subordinate. Remember that my whip is always ready to wake you should you have a brain lapse. Of course, I'll keep that in mind. If you are done playing games... Right, let's begin the investigation. By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here? Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Babylonis embassy today. And why are our police guarding the embassy? Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu. They called us up and asked us for our help, sir. Oh, and because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years. It's more or less a mutually beneficial agreement, if you ask me. Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose. Looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again. I look forward to your next salary negotiation, although it's out of my hands. But sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be able to buy even instant noodles anymore. So our victim was the secretary of this embassy, I think. Manny Kochin. I heard he was an admirable person. Very admirable. The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his back. We were fortunate as the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, we would have made identifying them more a hassle. So Mr. Kochin was stabbed to death in the middle of the raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room? I won't rest on it. It's a very suspicious looking nook and cranny. Obviously we have the big fucking Yatagarasu key right fucking there. There appears to be something in his pocket. His key. It can't be. Isn't this the Yatagarasu's key that was stolen 7 years ago? What? But that's... Oh, 7 years ago. Oh! You mean that case where I was framed, sir? Yes, this is the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago. Which was then stolen by Callisto Yu. What? Mr. Faraday was killed with this key, sir. I thought he was killed with a knife. Scruffy, at the very least, try to remember the details of the crime you are suspecting. Franziska, as you recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge. Oh, I feel like the victim right now, all trampled on, sir. I suppose I'll just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is... Oh, that's amazing, sir. It's some kind of magic trick. I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade. I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it? It looks like two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade. Vines, sirs? I think it looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. One of those six-sided stars, just like the police make our mark on our IDs. I really don't think you can call these stars. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. The real question is why the Babylonis Embassy Secretariat holding this? Well, we don't know Mr. Kochin came to possess this key. We do know that this was stolen by the Yatagarasu from the Kadopian Embassy. So that's right, Mr. Faraday had written that fact down in his organizer. I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Kadopia. So why don't you ask the Ambassador Paleno about what he knows? Supposedly he was a candidate to be the next Kadopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. Is this knife the murder weapon? Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound. So this means that we now know that the crime scene was committed with this knife. Knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, huh, sir? This thing practically screamed artsy to me. Although it is also covered in blood, just like the last thing I said was artsy. But the handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it has a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful. Man, where do I know him from? Let's see. The key, that's that one. It's an eye food. It's obvious that he was killed, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound. Indeed. Indeed. Let's see. If there's anything else I can see here. Or let me see. I can't believe that Manny fell among the thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is. Ambassador Paleno, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police. That and only that. I ask you to cooperate not only for your sake, for Mr. Cochin as well. You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating! Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these. Sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe. Oh, no, these are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babel. Remember, we offer a large number of discounted offers when you visit lovely Babel. I remember, the Republic of Babel is known for its feverish tourism industry. I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased Manny Cochin. He was my secretary in the embassy secretariat, charged with running the whole place. He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss to our country. He's in charge of everything, accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures. I'm sorry, but did you say printing? Our country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy. I see. Please excuse my forwardness, however. I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before. Oh, yes. Since you are one of the legal profession, I suppose Justitius might have. For all Manny was involved in the KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident? The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny. So your Mr. Cochin is the same man as the one in the Gann case. Oh, 2 minutes, Henry. Give it a minute. Get another drink in here, I think. Should probably turn this down to 0 because it's caffeine, but whatever. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. Like I said, I know it's not the most enthusing thing to watch, but it's interesting. I enjoy these kind of games just because of the interesting twists and turns. You really have to have, it really sets your mind up. It really sets your mind into overdrive, thinking about how these different things work. And all the different little tidbits of information you need to be able to look at to be able to determine what's going on. So. It has been good to get back into this again. Welcome back, everybody. We're getting right back into it. It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event, who was to oversee the embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him. What exactly do you mean earlier by renovations? We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy think we're a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying to make best to make do. However, the only person who could have helped us do our best now is no longer with us. Mr. Polino, I was wondering if I may ask you about Cadopia. Cadopia? Oh, alright. What would you like to talk about? First, I'd like to ask you about this key. What about this key? Well, it's sticking out of Mr. Cochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy. Is that correct? Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly. That's not all about this key. It's also capable of changing into a knife. Oh! Oh, fascinating. Possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key? In its knife form, there is a flower mark at the base of the blade. Guess this knife might be from when we used to be a part of Cadopia.
Hold it!
And how did you come to that conclusion? It has both of Cadopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. Was meant to use this key here at the embassy back when we were still Cadopia. Ambassador Polino, this key was stolen from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago by Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu. Oh, really? You were not aware of that Miss Yu had broken into this embassy at that time? Sorry, I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babal became its own independent nation. But if Manny were still alive, he'd probably know more about what happened back then. So Cochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. But that doesn't explain why I found the Yatakarasu's key here in the present. Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the secretary.
Hold it!
But there is a possibility that it is related to the murder, wouldn't you agree? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We can't force them to let us investigate. We can force them to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof. Suppose I don't have a choice here. This must be one of the Primido statues that was talked about earlier. Is it just me, or does this man look like the Steel Samurai? They could be twins. Okay, are you alright? You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right? Yes, of course I don't. And I promise to prove that it wasn't you. That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It would be wise of you to give up while you can. No, I don't think so. Kay isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true. Go ahead and then try then, if you're that confident. Can't allow this to continue on this way. I must prove her innocence post-haste. A small personal safe. This was Mr. Cochin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. Of course, it's locked. I probably won't be able to open it without the key. We know for a fact that the Yatagarasu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim, Mr. Cochin's pocket, which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office. Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out. It appears it was correct. The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket is literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth. What do we have here? Hey, there's nothing inside. Do you think the Yatakarasu made off with everything, sir? No, Detective. I believe all we need is a closer look. And clearly there's papers poking out right there. What is this here? Looks like a ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir. No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more to me like it's stuck in the safe. Ah, you're right. Well, budge an inch, not even when I tug on it. But I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on the inside of a safe before.
Hold it!
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe. What do you mean? What I mean is that the signature of this safe is that it has 2 compartments. Even just eyeballing it, you can see the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say that there is an extra bit of space behind the back wall of the safe. In other words, the safe is a second compartment. What? I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct, there is a second compartment, how do we go about opening the door to it then? There's no other lock or keyhole in sight. Actually, there is one more spot of interest to me on this safe. Oh? Yes, and I believe that spot is the keyhole to our mystery. It's a safe in its looks. Since you are so sure of yourself, show me where you deduced the answer. Let's see. And here. I'm gonna have to join any of the events I hold. Eureka! This piece of evidence is the key to that safe. Since it is, I'm willing to entertain any explanation you may have. Oh, sir, I'm sure you're right in what you said. Although I'm not quite sure how that piece of evidence is related to the safe either. Bad enough for Francisca to doubt me, but Detective Gumshoe as well. Let's see. Eureka! Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francisca? This shape does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism. It's just for keeping the door shut, nothing more.
Hold it!
Is that so? The person who's used this safe, Mr. Cochin, made sure this safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think that someone like that would allow the keyhole to the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person can figure out? You can't be serious. Am I saying that this keyhole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of the safe? That's precisely what I'm saying. I'm prove to you right now that the Atagarasu's key is a key that will open it.
Objection!
It's the Atagarasu's key? Oh, it's Edgeworth. This had better be a very bad joke. Sorry, but this is no joke. The Atagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment in the safe. We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe, but the keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key. Let's go over this again, shall we? The Atagarasu's key. It's originally made to open Mr. Cochin's safe in the Cadopian embassy. We confirmed that is the fact by opening the door to the safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back end of this key. Look at the right portion head on. What do you see? What are you talking? Ah! It appears that you've come to understand what I'm talking about. When viewed head on, the nice blade is exactly the same shape as the keyhole. The real function of this knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. But that's preposterous! Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. We fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both the safe and its key to conceal clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Then it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside it. Scrappy, hurry and open that safe. Yes, sir. Opening it now. These items, they're a bunch of funny shaped things. I guess they're pieces of art, huh, sir? You're in the way. Now move, Scrappy. I didn't think it was in the way. These pieces of art, they're identical to the ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. I figured as much. These are the treasures this section of the safe was to hide view. From view. A more thorough examination is required. Start with the papers. This is the document we saw stuck earlier. Wonder what it's about. Reads me, sir. Why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, Detective? Mr. Coach's name is written here upon the last page. I wonder what the significance of this document is. Prizes pieces of art, stolen art from around the world. Wonder how much they're worth, especially this one. Eek! Scruffy, don't touch these valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands. Boy, do you have any idea what would happen to you if one of them were to break? Just me, or did you hit one of the pieces of art just now? Well, this sort of trick in a one safe is really something. Yeah, seeing how the safe with those 2 compartments. What's really impressive is that all of at the other end of the key was another key. I totally hadn't noticed. Wondering if Mr. Kocha was just paranoid or he had secrets of that greater value. Being a paranoid, I went sharpen both ends of my pencil. But then when I went to erase something, I got all paranoid that I was going to stab myself. Please refrain from dispensing your special brand of unrelated stories while on duty. Yes, sir. On the key of the Agarasu. No, Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. It was originally from this embassy. Maybe she came back to return it? I don't think she's the type to be so kind as to do such a thing, Detective. Okay. What do you think, sir? Callisto Yu. What reason did she steal the key? I think I've gotten everything here. Sorry, the Interpol is still conducting its investigation beyond this point. I'm a subordinate Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access? My superior clearly said, don't you dare let anyone near the site. You got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me. You know, Mr. Edgeworth, I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says? Yes, I suppose we might as well. Hey, the butterfly. I believe it's the symbol of the Republic of Babal. It's big on the wall of an embassy. Definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism. Well, I've got a lot of patriotism too, sir. The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country. You may want to, Detective. However, I have yet to see the fruits of your desire. You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir. Xylem knife's handle. It greatly resembles a special Baboline species of butterfly. It does, doesn't it? Plus it says right here. This knife is the property of the Republic of Babal. Perhaps that means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room. Yeah, how about right here? Sir Edgeworth, there's still something on this display rack, sir. Nice, huh? Although the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. I guess the handles got burned off by the fire. So even the knives fell victim to the fire. Ambassador Polano, are these knives yours? Why, yes, they are. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babal. These butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe the Babalese ones have been reduced to this state. Ornamental knives, huh? A small release in the tang of this blade. Ambassador Polano, what is this notch here for? Oh, that. It's a feature of these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them. So that we can exchange how they look to fit the situation, of course. I see. So these knives were constructed so that the handles could easily be removed. These shelves are lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia. It's really strange, isn't it? I mean, I thought this was the Babalese embassy. Why are there so many American souvenirs, sir? Perhaps the Babalese are studying American culture and our tourism industry. They have plans to make the Babalese tourism industry truly flourish, then they would need to observe and study other country methods, I suppose. Speaking of tourism, I got these from the blonde guy earlier, sir. He said if I bring them with me to Babal, I can trade them for a few buffets. Oh, so how do you expect to travel to Babal? Well, the whole world is connected by the ocean, sir. And for an all-you-can-eat buffet, I'd swim all the way to Babal if I have to. Maybe simple coupons really motivate people to do such fantastic things. Let's see. Ceiling fan must have fallen from the sun. Ceiling fan? What does one of these do? Exactly what it sounds like it does. It's a fan that is installed on one seat. Well, if I had one of those in my room, I'd better go dizzy from staring at it as I slept. Detective Gumshoe, in the real world, we close our eyes when we sleep. Miles Edgeworth, what is it? Let me tell you something. You are currently my subordinate. If you wish to convince everyone of that, you will speak to me with respect. What's with the giddy glint in her eyes? I don't think it will really be necessary, Franziska. Oh, really? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you are still under me. Franziska was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy? I was investigating the Alabastan embassy when I got wind of this mess. That's right. The Adagarasu was due to appear at that embassy as well. Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Also, there was an incident at the Alabastan embassy as well. But I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Babalese embassy. So Agent Lang is here as well? I see you met. Well, he's in the Alabastan embassy acting as a bodyguard for Ambassador Umber. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. So the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is that little girl I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Adagarasu? I would never harm a soul, sir. Kay? You remember, do you not? About the case we investigated together 7 years ago? That girl was the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday. So she's that feisty little girl. Kay has been on the trail of the Adagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the one who took her father's life. I see. Kay's trying so hard, but you know what? The Adagarasu just keeps tricking us all. How so? The Adagarasu sent a card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. But all we've had is an arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sirs? It's a breach of contract, and it's going on the rap sheet. If you ask me, I am perfectly fine with the fact nothing was stolen tonight. I do wonder, though, Callisto Yu really is the Adagarasu. Steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Adagarasu was out to steal is in this very room? Dirty secret? Franziska, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case, the only person I'm looking for here in the Babalese embassy, huh? The head of the smuggling operation. I just might need to ask Franziska about her smuggling case in more depth. Franziska, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you're here right now is related to that. Yes. After analyzing the intel we've gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off. This accounting document. It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all the detail. However, isn't this what's grabbed on the tail of the beast? You see, this type of paper was made only in the Principality of Cadopia. Written somewhere in the countries of Alabasta and Babal is the head. Pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring. So in this for you, she's amazing. Pursuing this case with all she has. Looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock, but it's fallen victim to the fire. Right, Mr. Edgeworth, is it okay for me to talk about the clocks in my house, sir? They're unrelated to the case. I hope that you will refrain from sharing, but... Well, there's this one clock I made by myself, but the timer on it manages to auto, but that's quite enough, detective. Yep, it's Franziska's document. Eureka! Take a good look at these documents, Franziska. It says there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Correct, now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Tell me it is not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3. Well, it certainly looks that way. By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. And it seems that you have now found what you were looking for. Yes, it was this. It has become crystal clear that Mr. Cochin himself was responsible for this mass smuggling of Babalese ink. Babalese ink. Babalese ink is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported.
Hold it!
The reason is that's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Cochin. His base was in the embassy, thus it was hard for both countries, and both our country and his, to interfere. Making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation. It is so frustrating. I lost the person I was to rain judgment down upon with my hip-hop justice. Well, even if he is dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. You expect me to weep a dead man? Well, I'm not interested. Francisco, you must know. Manny Cochin was the suspect in the KG-8 incident. Of course I know. On top of being the head of the smuggling ring, there is the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved. Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that this girl is the only one it could be. Now come along quietly, Yatagarasu. Kay Faraday. You're under arrest for the murder of Manny Cochin. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I chased the fake Yatagarasu in here. And he was already... You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Hold it!
I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes. What is this supposed to mean? I believe I told you that Kay Faraday is not the culprit of this crime. Very well. I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are. Even your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Babalese embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu. And most importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with the body. This is for suspecting case, but you think she is the Yatagarasu. Exactly, but it isn't just me. She calls herself the Yatagarasu. Look how many times I had to tell you. I was the only out to capture the fake Yatagarasu. Imposter or not, it matters not. A Yatagarasu is a Yatagarasu. Very well, then I shall prove the Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Master Manny Cochin. Go ahead and try. Show me what the prosecutors of this country are made of. Okay, now we just press everything.
Hold it!
They may have confirmed it, but are you telling me that no one could catch the thief? If so, you're basically meaning that the Yatagarasu that committed murder eluded us. Of course, I chased after the Yatagarasu that entered the Babalese embassy right away. And that is also why I'm making this arrest right now. Because at the end of my long chase, there was only this girl. In any case, this is what I believe happened tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, yeah.
Hold it!
The confusion caused by the fire? Are you saying that the Yatagarasu was not the arsonist who started the fire? A suspicious person in a long coat was spotted in the area. Officers in the area claim to have seen that person start the fire. It sounds like we have a phantom in our midst. Yeah. In a way, could be considered a phantom, with the way he randomly appears.
Hold it!
Just because she calls herself that doesn't prove that she is a killer. No, but does give her a motive. The Yatagarasu set the card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. Furthermore, there are documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them. So she killed Mr. Cochin for the key. I see. It's very sound. I expect nothing less of Major Lang's secretary. However, that statement just now didn't sound right. It might just be the opening I need.
Objection!
Agent Sheena, I forgot to inform you, but there's a flaw in your logic. Oh? Even if you claim that she is the killer and the Atakarasu, I am certain that securing the smuggling documents is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Kojin's body. Furthermore, the Atakarasu would not be so stupid as to leave without the documents. The simple fact that the documents were still in their safe when we looked. It's obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all. Perhaps she didn't know that Mr. Kojin had the key on him. If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I can think of no reason for her to kill him if she had not known that fact. Need, reason. All of this is simply our conjecture. Drawstring after the fact. It's hardly possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. Perhaps she did notice the safe's second compartment before returning the key. But the fact still remains that Mr. Kojin was stabbed to death.
Objection!
With no definitive proof that it was Kay who committed the act. Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife she used on the victim with my own eyes. What? Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that will put her away behind bars. The knife wound on the body is consistent with the blade of the knife. The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon which the killer was holding. I assume she obtained the knife from that display rack and used it on the victim. The knife is part of a special 3-piece set, which has a design like no other. The evidence and testimony all points to the girl. There is no counter argument. I want to look at this knife. Turning on this handle. It would appear that the handle on this knife is removable. So people can change them whenever they feel like it. Sounds like fun, sir. I think people will remove the handle just for fun, detective. Mr. Kojin's life, some of his blood is still on the blade. Wow, I've been a detective for 7 years already. I've seen a lot of weapons in my days. Knives that were used to kill are always the hardest for me to bear. Yes, unlike guns, this is the one weapon where you're likely to find the victim's blood on it. Yeah, just like how this one is practically drenched in it, huh, sir? Wait, that looks like the blood managed to miss the handle somehow. But that is your definitive evidence? You see now that she is definitely the killer, right? No, Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta believe me. I saw a suspicious person in a long black coat outside the embassy. I swear. And you came in here because you were chasing the suspicious person. That's right. I ran into this office only because I was chasing after that person. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the lights, but then... Ah! Who's there? This is... I came to this room upon hearing the girl scream. And when I saw her holding the knife, I immediately restrained her. So you got that Kay fell by her foot was the murder weapon. I had the knife analyzed right away, but we failed to find anyone's prints on it. But the suspicious person in the black coat who came in this room before me didn't insist there was such a person. But if there was, where did they go? That, I don't know, but I know they came in here. That sounds like the desperate excuses of a suspected killer, not trustworthy testimony. You understand, don't you? You can't trust this girl's words, Mr. Edgeworth. She has a point, even if Kay's words are the truth. I'm not sure that they are with some solid evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, I really didn't. Okay. Don't worry. If you didn't do it, then there must exist a way for me to prove that. Still not giving up, I see. In that case, try to counter my argument if you can. Don't worry. I can and I will.
Hold it!
Does this mean that you already have the results back? You confirmed that the shape of the Babyliss knife blade matches the wound. Please don't confuse the efficiency of Interpol's forensics team with your own.
Objection!
If you don't underestimate our police force. And so we're clear. I'd hardly say your logic is sound, but you will see in a bit. If you can prove me wrong, please, by all means, go ahead. That has been my intent all along. Now let us return to your testimony. The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon which the killer was holding. Oh, I gotta go back. Oh, no. You mean to say you saw Kay holding the murder weapon with your own eyes? I was also on the search for the Atagarasu. When I heard the girl's scream coming from this room, I rushed over straight away. When I arrived, I saw the girl standing there motionless with a knife in her hand. But I already told you, I only came in here because I was also after the Atagarasu. The suspicious person I saw came into this room. When I entered, it was pitch dark. I felt something by my foot on the floor, so I turned on the lights. And then you found out that it was the murder weapon at your feet. How many times do I have to tell you? We can't trust the words of a suspect. The only thing you'll accept is evidence, isn't it? That's the only acceptable way to counter an agent of Interpol on the scene of a crime. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have some kind of evidence that can prove me innocent? I think I do, because there's one piece of evidence I find to be a bit interesting. Carefully examine that piece of evidence again.
Hold it!
I don't want to press again. Go through this dialogue again. This knife has like no blood on it.
Objection!
So the murder weapon was a knife with a butterfly design on it. Does that really the truth? What are you getting at? I'd like you to take a look at this. There is blood on the blade, and yet there is not a speck of blood on the handle. This signifies that at the time of the crime, a different handle was attached to this blade. This game needs more dick, Gumshoe. You're damn right it does. The knife that Kay was holding had its handle switched and was in fact not the real murder weapon. It wasn't the real murder weapon? This knife can be taken apart. Shall we give it a go? As you can see, the Babyliss knife has now been disassembled into two parts. Killer must have pulled up the murder weapon out of the victim's body and proceeded to swap the knife's original handle with this butterfly one. It was all to create the illusion that Mr. Cochin was killed with the butterfly-themed knife. This should clear up any and all suspicions surrounding Kay. Your argument isn't airtight yet. How so? It's possible that the girl herself is the one who switched the handles.
Hold it!
Don't be ridiculous. For what purpose would she do such a thing? I don't care how a criminal thinks. The way they view the world is beyond the comprehension of a normal person like myself. Therefore, I wouldn't put anything past them, no matter how odd it may seem. I want to point out something. So here's something, and I might be spoiling this for myself, but I have a suspicion, and let me see if you guys can pick this up for me too. Alright. Yeah. Truth is right there in front of you. And this knife will show you the way. You will come to see that Kay is not and could not have been Mr. Cochin's killer. The fact that there is a fucking flower. What is this mark on here? It's the mark of a flower. I assume you know what this means. Alright. I want to point out something, by the way. Her, Sheena, right? Her, you see her here? I'm calling it right now. These two are the same person or related to each other in some way. I'm calling it now. Alright, back to it. Butterflies rest on flowers all the time to drink their sweet nectar. And so they do. Or would this butterfly really drink the nectar of this flower? The answer is clearly not a chance. The relationship between the butterfly and the flower with this.
Take that!
You can't be serious. Here's you made the connection. The flower on this plate is designed after a certain country's national symbol. That's right, the Kingdom of Alabast. In other words, this blade is from one of the Alabast's ornamental knives. This part of the knife handle has Babel's national symbol of the butterfly eye. Therefore, it is undeniable Babelese in origin. But, as we both know, you can't kill someone with just a knife handle. Incidentally, when exactly did the murder occur again? Agent Sheena? After the fire had broken out. That's right. Kay entered the Babelese embassy after the fire had taken place. Furthermore, she had not been into the Alabastan side of the building before then. On top of that, not a single person passed between the two countries during the fire. Which means that Kay could not have transported an Alabastan object over here. Then this makes it impossible for her to be the true killer. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What a great victory. Huh? Hey, why is everyone so quiet? I'm happy we got this far and cleared Kay's name. What worries me now is what will happen next.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? An Alabastan knife here? Do you mean, how did this find its way to the Republic of Babel? Didn't just find its way over. Rather, we should focus on how it was smuggled over. You know what? My brain hurts thinking about it while we're just standing around. Thinking while you're on the run? Now that's the real way a great thief operates. Okay? Oh, thanks a bunch, Mr. Edgeworth. For proving me innocent, I mean. You believed in me the whole time, right? Tell me you did. Not really, but... Come on, you don't have to be shy about it. Your argument is still not airtight. Would you care to elaborate? I understand now that the girl didn't commit the murder. However, there is still the possibility that she is the Yatagarasu. But again, look, how many times do I have to explain it to you? I am the real Yatagarasu. I'm not like that fake one that goes around setting fires, okay? Whether you're the real deal or a fake, it doesn't really matter. All I have to say is this. I have my suspicions that this girl is the one who started the fire.
Objection!
Preposterous! On what grounds do you suspect her of such a thing? The fact that she calls herself the Yatagarasu, that in itself is the most elegant proof. Miss Sheena, yes? I have no intention of taking back any of what I said. I am the great thief Yatagarasu, and I refuse to allow some imposter to claim that name as their own. The path of justice that my father pointed me towards. I will walk it the best I can. It's not good to be so stubborn. I hope you can understand that. Thanks a lot for the concern, Miss Sheena. Let me share something with you too, as a token of my appreciation. Those sunglasses totally do nothing for you, so I'll steal them from you next time, okay? What? Well, I guess we'd better get going. Going? To where? To the Kingdom of Alabast. If we don't go, we won't know for sure, right? I suppose not. We won't get anywhere simply by standing here thinking. To see where the Alabastan knife came from, I'll have to pay the Alabastan embassy a visit. Cool, already beat the apology. Yes, I did. I did beat the apology. I apologize. I didn't mean to go forward while the non-subs, while the ads were going. Yes, I beat the Apollo trilogy already. I'm the real master. Yeah, I'm getting those vibes. Listen, I just saw a lot of heart in the fucking like lobby area. So, like, we're already in some deep shit, all right? She's probably got a picture of something that's gonna be fucking blatantly wrong. All right, welcome back, everybody. We just went a little bit farther forward, so not much farther. You guys haven't missed anything. It's basically everyone's saying, let's go to the embassy. As you are my subordinate, I will not tolerate you bringing the investigation to Eld. Understood. Count off. One. 1. Shifu, 99 callouts. All 90 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, the second number 1 from my right.
Sir, yes, sir.
Here, a birthday present for you.
What? Shifu, I didn't know that you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have. Shifu, you are more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday.
Lang Zi says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Tell him I said hi and happy birthday, won't you?
Yes, sir. Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying.
I should probably leave them to their alone time. All right, meeting's over, everyone. Head for your posts. Dismissed.
All right, gonna drink a little bit. This guy's voice particular takes a lot of out of my throat. Giggity.
Yo, were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Shina. She's already filled me in. It sounds like you're out to get in my way again.
I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Alabastan embassy.
And what if I say no?
Objection!
Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights.
Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Alabasta has the strictest immigration regulations in the world. Or didn't you know? Even among my elite men, only about half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen, we might spoil the soup, if you get what I mean.
How dare you make such assumptions?
Don't take this the wrong way. But I thought I was in charge of Alabasta, Miss Von Karma. Look, try to understand, okay? Over in Alabasta, things over in Alabasta are a bit of a mess right now.
What do you mean by a bit of a mess?
No one told you we had an incident in Alabasta as well. This is what we call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor.
Look, Wolfie, just let us in already.
Is there a problem here, Ancient Lang? Not really, just having a discussion about whether not to let these guys in.
Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation.
We're having a debate because of my country. I'm terribly sorry for placing your good people in that kind of situation. It's all because I lack the strength to govern as well.
Please, it is nothing of the sort, Ambassador.
You weakling Quercus! Curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country!
What are you?
The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. There, you see?
Oh, no way! Good lord. These voices, man, are killing me.
Ambassador Alba, I ask you to please reconsider letting them into Alabasta. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in the Babalese embassy. And he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings, completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Babel someday.
All right, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to get the final okay anyway. All right, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in. Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Babel murder. So I'd like you to please stay here in the Republic of Babel. Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me. Yes, sir. Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better. Rasp. Rasp. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes. So I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady over there, is she here? Do I think she is? Ah, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet. Franziska van Kama, the prosecutorial apology. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I knew it. You're the whip lady. You may address me as Miss Von Karma. Miss Von Karma, I leave the investigation of Alabast in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatakarasu. A smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Franziska a bit more about them before I head into Alabast. Ah, I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Poleno for all that he's done for me. You made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing. Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There is no room for further failure in my perfect investigation. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following. You mean the Babalese ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Babalese ink to begin with? That's classified. Hold it! Franziska, as your supporter, I am part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you? Point taken, very well. I'll fill you in. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zhangfa. Counterfeit bills? Yes, as you may have deduced, counterfeits are being made with Babel's special Babalese ink. And it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Babalese ink from real ones. As it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Babel. That's where this document comes into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Cochin was smuggling large amounts of Babalese ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know. He was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem. Yes, you still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink. Yes, and while we are listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Babalese embassy, we're looking into the Alabastan embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden, mark my words, I will find them. Ambassador Poleno, I'm in your debt. Oh, no, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor. Wow, you're so sensational. You've really piqued my curiosity. I know they are much. Please, know that I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly. No, that's quite alright. Oh, well. How about this, then? And what exactly is it? It's fountain pen ink. Known as Babalese ink. It's made exclusively in Babel. This is Babalese ink. We make it from white crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines. Please accept this ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer. How fortunate for me. The ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I'll gladly accept your gracious gift. Great, wonderful. I guarantee that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation. Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. Well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay? I didn't get permission to enter Alabast. So we're going to go gather whatever info we can over on the Babalese side, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you two. Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Von Karma to sniff out clues in Alabast. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, you let me know, okay? You tell me, I'll rush over straight away, no matter where you are. I'll let you know when the time comes. Do you think you're doing to my subordinate? You're... Oh God, no, not this guy! Why is he always here? Edgy, thank heavens you're here. I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. The raven had appeared, poof, and then disappeared. Swoosh. And then I thought I was still samurai in my sword. Wow, I'm so confused. I don't know what it means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? I'm Larry of the House Butts, married man of Neo Old Tokyo, milady. Now I remember, this person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Yes, frightfully enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind and you act like it's no big deal? So what sort of bind are we talking about here? The suspect kind! Accidentally became a suspect in a murder! I see, that's quite a bind. Not so we're in the least bit surprised, as I pretty much expected this news. And the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry, it was you? You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I didn't wait till you threw my headpiece. What's going on? And why are you beet red? Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play?
Oh, hell no!
Aha, so this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of a man who had snuck into this embassy. Mask de Mask 2. Mask de Mask 2? Oh God, this guy again too? Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. I see why you mentioned that read, by the way. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry's not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing. Sir Shifu, we've identified the victim. Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Lane, would you mind if I peek at it as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one's me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang, he's back! Agent Lang, will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Yes, of course. You let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, Brad. Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu non-stop. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop in case a card was ever found. Incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu's MO very well. And his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I am in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of Damask 2, would you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty. And put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos, Damask 2 broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasures or another. And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in this room? Why exactly is that man placed under arrest, Detective? That samurai? He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reason you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. Well, he was just a random guest. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Alabastan Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when Yatagarasu showed. Keep in mind, Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats, or the guests who had been called to sit in them, were empty. A no-show? Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time. And where was he? He was on the roof, one of his legs down a chimney. That chimney leads directly into this room. Larry Butts, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation.
So I have her following me.
This is the victim, Damask 2. What is with the gaudy outfit? You don't know about Mask Damask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So this thief is separate from Yatagarasu? I thought they were for a while because their MO and targets were different. Damask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask. That's alright. I'll put details of his failure anyway. We haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? Let's see, we have the samurai sword he's had and something in his hand. Let's see what he's got in his hand first. What's he holding? Looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It appears that directions on how to reach this room were written on by him. There's something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Prima Dose statue in this room. What is this supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? If I had to guess from the text, I would say this act's actually a request for someone about what to steal. Just who is this person that requested the theft of the Prima Dose statue? There's not a single shred of fashion sense in Damask's costume. Well, at least I can appreciate the great effort he must have put into making it. You two don't know? You can buy this costume almost anywhere now. It's being sold? Since when? It's around New Year's. The streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out Damask is a lot more popular than I thought he'd be. Can't believe that foolish fool would dress in fool's clothing to act foolishly. You got your point about the be foolish is back. Right, let's go. This is the murder weapon in this case? There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What'd you expect? It's Steel Samurai Daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary because although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that turns into a real fight. You know quite a bit about this Steel Samurai. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of this sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. Let's see. Not that Damask had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name. A phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is not a work guy by the name of Kashi Nu. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damask too. Your Honor, Larry did it. He did just put him in jail for life for the good of everyone. Yeah, pretty much. That motherfucker gets himself in everything. The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Yeah. We got that. I think that's about everything I can see here. I think that's just about everything I got here. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's talk to the butts. Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Hey, how about that? I've got a few things I gotta ask you too. What is it? What is it? It's like both you and him. It's not that the two of you are always managed to have some cute or hot girl by your side. And Francie, what about the promise you made to me? Promise? What's promise? The one where you said you would model for my next book, Francie's Whippity Whip Trip. Ow! I made no such promise. Since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When it's something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Laurice Doonim now? That's Doonim! Lawrence Doonim! Get that straight in your head, Edgy! Ow, 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 ow! Now I remember, you're that little pale imitation of an real artist. Oh no, you got it all wrong! I gave up on that Lord Laurice business. Besides, when Brangelina left me in my heart in pieces, that's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. And I figure I could go through this Steel Samurai outfit. Your name blasting makes more less and less sense each time we meet. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as the Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess. You got it! I knew you'd understand what I mean, Edgy. Not really. It's so much as I understood. So much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi loading. Very, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too! Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. Your past experience has taught me that you are always at the center of some insane event. Edgy, how can you be so mean, stabbing me with your words like that? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know. Okay, I get it. Just stop Francie from whipping me from behind. So, I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to is probably beyond my imagination. So you will tell me exactly what you did, Larry. Nope, not yet, Edgy. It takes more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more! Confess, now. Oh, okay, well, I was up on the roof. Why exactly were you up there? Oh, you know, that wintry custom and the legendary hero. Legendary hero? Santa Claus. Santa Claus? I wanted to do that thing that he does, so I cleaned up on the roof of one of the chimneys. When I got there was smoke pouring out of the chimney. And, well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming right up, right? So I gave up. Objection! Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know! I did graduate from junior high, you know! Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Aw, crud! It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has lined you up as a prime suspect in this murder. Come on, man, what's wrong with pretending to be Santa? Objection! Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit. No! Okay, wait a sec, we're not in court. Larry, about the Steel Samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon. Oh, that? Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know. Yes, apparently you did. Well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Shocked! Foolishly laughing, especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you? Would you believe such a tale?
Hold it!
Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry. Angie, you believe me? I just knew our friendship is something special. Anyway, even if Larry had simply forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name, which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle. There's some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They must be the counterparts to the Babalese knives, which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Kochin. Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts to the Babalese knives. The blades of these knives should match the blade of the knife that killed Mr. Kochin. Huh? One of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces of this blade and handle fit together. It would appear they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. But this means that an alabaster knife did find its way into Babal. How? There's about absolutely no difference between this and the Primados statue and Babal's. The statue's face looks a bit like the costumed hero you liked so very much. I only wonder why you Americans have such an affinity for this kind of face. Statue wasn't made by Americans, you know. By an American, you know. At least I don't suppose. It's the Steel Samurai's primary weapon, the Samurai Spear. Oh, isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like a whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like BAM! You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Well, just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced that the spear is up to the task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into the distance. Oh, I get it. Tell me what. I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say something about wanting one? They could shut him up by showing the piece of evidence that would point something out about his spear. I think if we do this and we draw we show him his autograph. Eureka! There, about this spear. Oh, are you feeling it? Bam! I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me or is the spear a bit bent? Oh, what? No way, it's exactly as it should be, yo! I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. As you can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. Ah! What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then during practice, I was spinning it around, and bam, it hit the wall. Unbelievable. This is an embassy. But I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man. Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Okay, so it was some field trip and I began to shadow fight with myself. Not that's what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that, it's no biggie. It's like I left a hole. It's not like I left a hole or something. That's not why I'm asking, Larry. The Steel Samurai Spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. What? Where did that come from? Well, you keep calling it the Samurai Spear, but it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You can hit it against practically anything and it would bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth. It's not friendship, it's utter humiliation. Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this? I wonder why there's no whips. I wonder why there's no these whips on display here. What is this plant supposed to be? Oh, Francisco, can't you see that it's supposed to be the likeness of Ambassador Alba? Yes, it was. As a subordinate, you have a lot of naivety telling me what you think. I look forward to your salary assessment next month. You're eluding yourself if you think you have any control over that. So I think we've gotten everything here. I know we'll do this. The Belly's butterflies and the best of flower. The butterfly and the flower, they are both lovely things. But we can interpret this to mean that Alabas provides honey to Ababal. Francisca, can't you come up with a more meaningful or profound comment? Very well then, let's see what sort of profound comment you can come up with. Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies that spread their pollen. And butterflies cannot live without the nectar the flowers provide. If either were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. What was that, Miss Von Karma? That explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Well, let's continue the investigation. Cisco, why can't you just when I had something there? The person shaking their hands with the Steel Samurai is a picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. The Steel Samurai must be very popular. They're even using the National Treasure as the backdrop. I just don't understand. What is so great? The top knot. What great about top knots there? Clearly there's a depth to this show that a young person like you can't fathom. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show and costumed actors? It's a fireplace, and by the looks of it, I don't think it's been used recently. I can't see anything unusual about it. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be a necessity in our Shifu's investigation. Is that a fact? No matter how good he is bound to overlook something. If you insult our Shifu, then prepare to be punished. Oh, it's exactly how you would punish us. Investigator under Shifu's command will work to disrupt your investigation. Vindictive much? You did some investigating over the Babylonis embassy too, right? I did. Is there a problem? Langzi says, a wolf who aims to hunt for 2 rabbits at once? I believe the idiom you require is he who runs after 2 hares will catch neither. A real wolf can catch both. I see. So what are you trying to say, seeing as how I'm currently handling 2 cases? Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you. The ambassador. This must be Ambassador Alba's desk. His notebook is open on his desk. He must have been in the middle of some important work. Sapling growth log I finally sprouted today. Funny, it doesn't look like important work to me. I only have the smoke from the chimney. So I have nothing else there. 2 gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure these flowers. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally lovely name. Yes, Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that way. Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As they say, learn something new every day. I already talked to Bad. There. Was the exact same statue sitting in that Babylonis office we examined. It's the Primador statue. It's the national treasure of the Principality of Cadopia. There was only one of the statues, meaning that one of the 2 is a replica. But both Alabas and Babao claim to have the real thing. An incredibly childish fight to have. Primador statue, there was one of these on the Babylonis side as well. I hear it's very valuable and made of pure gold. It's the national treasure of Cadopia. It's only one of these statues, meaning that one of the 2 is a replica. Both Alabas and Babao claim to have the real thing and won't budge from their claim. Could be childish fight to have. Butterflies on the alabaster flower. Yeah, we've already been over this. We've already been over this conversation. I will drink in the meantime while they're going through it. Yeah, I think we got to this one as well. There's a grandfather clock just like this one earlier in the Babylonia embassy. You know, symmetry is a fine thing, but their interior design really suffers for it. Really? I think this clock actually fixes the core of this room quite well. As well as the wood does add to suit the all-natural atmosphere of this room. Its design and the materials made us strikes of a good balance between the plants. Hey, you two! Now's not the time to be talking about interior decorating, you know. Hurry up and save me! Be quiet! This is all part of my elite investigation. All you need to do is be quiet and watch. I do believe Larry has a point for once. There are decorative plants here as well. This room is overflowing with nature. Humans used to live in the grandeur of nature once. I believe I'm not mistaken in thinking that those people who truly love nature. He's coming from a man who loves shows featuring costumed actors. She just had to go there again, didn't she? Talk to you, talk to you. Alright, check this area. Makes me think I'm missing something. It doesn't show everything. I'm missing something here, but I don't know what I'm missing quite yet. Let's talk to Francisca. Oh, we have a 2 minutes. We'll give it a second. We'll give it a minute, few minutes here. I do hope everyone's having a good time. We've gotten like everybody who has a difficult voice right now. Got a drink here. I'll turn this down to 0, I think. Just water through here. There we go. Let's see if that helps. Alright, welcome back everybody. We're just continuing the investigation. Just thought I didn't assume myself, which is why we need to investigate some more. Zachary, our priorities should be on understanding what the current situation is. Of course, I was planning to do that from the very beginning. In that case, hurry up and start the investigation already. I will, so let's get started. The truth behind what happened here. How much information is I get? I found out of Cadopia. Premier 2. Because this is national treasure, I've heard only a few are allowed to access it. That's exactly right. Even we're not allowed to touch it. Not without the ambassador's permission, anyway. Not even a single finger on it. Bam! It's instant jail time. Understood. But the precious national treasure of us, not a single person can lead to a touch, can lead to arrest. And yet, I think there's something off about the statue. This is what's missing, as I feel. So, I know we're missing something here. I just don't know what. Missing the feet picks, obviously, clearly. The handle on this knife was made to be removable. Killer tried to make this look like a Babyliss knife by switching the two handles. It means that there must be some reason behind this action. Done that. So this is the only spot I'm missing. Let me think here. Alright, let's think. So, what we're noticing... Oh, I suppose this was the wrapping cloth the master used to carry soldiers. Fucking dumb. There's nothing wrapping... No, I guess he did not manage to get his hands on whatever he was out to steal. Alright, so that clears that up. Okay. So, I think we've investigated everything in here now. You can see when the bad lady has that. What's that plant supposed to be? Wait, this guy, can't you tell it's supposed to be like this the ambassador, Alba? It was. It's a we've already done this. Clock, plants down here. You. We talked about this. And Larry, it is clear that you still lack the proper awareness to be reelected. Well, it's not like I'm trained to be a pro. Oh, but I guess you can call me a pro at getting caught up in all sorts of mischief. You don't seem to be a pro at being defiant in the face of punishment for said mischief. So that pump is identical to the one in the Babyliss and was a Basta Paleno set to both Abas and Ball by sets of 6 knives each. They appear that way. Also, the knives here all have flowers on their handles. So two countries embellish their lives with their own national symbols, I guess. And it's just like the Yatakarasu's key. They are exquisitely made. The little craftsmanship makes these knives worthy of being owned by me. Already have the dangerous toys you will ever need, Francisco. See, I'm missing something, and I don't know what I'm missing now. Okay, apparently I'm supposed to do that. I looked this up because I'm very confused as to what I was supposed to do here. Apparently I'm supposed to do this. I wonder if this will clear anything up. Alright, I see where I missed it now. Alright, I'm going to turn it off because I don't want to use it if I don't have to. But that was getting very frustrating. So the thing that we needed to notice was this. See, the statue is facing towards us here. In the picture, it's facing to the side. This is the kind of thing that these games do. See? Eureka! Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about the scene, Miss Von Karma. See apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes the top knot's hand? That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in this photo is facing a different way. So right. The statue is his national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or secretariat level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched the statue around the time of the crime. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's... Yo, Freak Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. So the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastan embassy a visit. Yeah, I needed to speak with her as well. Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Miss Pink Princess, if you would please answer... Oh God, no! Me! This must be what they call fate. I had a feeling this was going to be her when they said that someone in the one of the fans said that they thought they heard a crack, and the Pink Princess said that her hip was bad. I had a feeling it was going to be her, and I'm terrified. How could this happen 2 days in a row? Why? What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Why aren't you surprised? Oh, you're the one that got to play the Seal Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now. You were acquaintances with Larry? Why, yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. Oh, that's what I call... Oh, it's okay, Mr. Edgy, my Edgy Poo. You don't need to be jealous. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy in here that I couldn't fall asleep. Came over to complain. So I imagined my shock when I saw my precious Edgy Poo waiting for me in here. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I misjudged you, Edgy Poo. You misjudged him? I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know. There's no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I'm trying to do. But it looks like the winds have shifted and now he's willing to be chased after. It's simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Poo. I'd chase you forever. To the ends of the earth. That's just peachy. This is one of those rare times when Franziska and I actually see eye to eye. Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at Gatewaterland as the Pink Badger. What are you talking about? That was ages ago. That was yesterday. Look, I worked at Global Studios before, a long time ago, all right? When they called me up this morning, kind of out of the blue, actually. They called you? Apparently, the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, so they called me to be her last-minute replacement. Do they not have enough people on staff at that studio? I really couldn't say no, so here I am playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But the poor girl, I felt bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her. She's going to have a terrible time when she returns. Everyone's like rating me, but she's doing her normal rambling thing. You're a rather lively old lady. So basically, you received the stand-in request this morning, correct? You got it. If you ever need to see it, I've got it right here. Look. It appears she's telling the truth. I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears. Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall. But being famous is a problem, too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. I was just about taking my break when I found this stuck out at the door to my room. Mindy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your love. God damn it, Larry. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your loving night. Absolutely revolting. I mean, you'd think you could get my name right. There's no accent on my name. Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before? But now you're here, Edgy Poo. I feel 100% safe. Where do I factor into this? You'd bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo? Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later. Oh, come on, Edgy Poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get. What were you doing at the time of the crime? What crime? What? After the show was over, I had nothing but free time on my hands. So I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm. Well, a murder occurs in this room next to yours. Isn't that right? Oh, Edgy Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me. Caress me. Hold it. If you could please not cling onto my personage. In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at the Ambassador Alba's speech. Oh, that? No, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young lady, a young tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the show ended, my hips started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all. Can you provide proof of your condition? You just go on ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to this embassy. To admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room was rather pleasant. Prosecutor Von Karma, I brought the police dog as you requested, sir. Good work. You may leave now, officer. Missile! I love Missile! Let's go, Missile! This dog. I requested the assistant dog in our search of the Yotakarasu. Looks like you guys did some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yes, that's a good boy. Yes, the police dog Gumshoe's been taken care of. I think his name is Missile. What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks. And actually knows exactly what's going to solve this case for us, you know. Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go! Woof. Good dog. You really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do we have here? What is this? Looks like a small hot dog, but... Wait, Franziska, isn't that an official samurai dog? Ah, no! Bite me so! He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that. Just a meat substance snack featuring the Steel Samurai. I'm sure he'll be fine. So that's quite a bit of information you guys are in a single quick glance. You should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog in the first place. Looks like the snack wasn't all myself fine. Oh, what do we have here? It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing. I somehow doubt that. Doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him. Samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. Is this yours? Please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt. Oh, Edgy Poo, what's the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask, and I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like. Thanks, but no thanks. The shirt was found here at this crime scene. What? Come now, why don't we just confess and explain what it's doing here? I know nothing, I tell you. What? Well, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. Wearing that pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. On top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. Don't say that.
You're too cruel, Edgipoo. Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room? Of course I am. If I had been to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I'm in the same boat, Allie. Well, maybe she is lying about her actions. I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace. On her break. The room shirt man to move from this room to the next one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours? Oh, that brilliant mind of yours. It really can see through everything about me. The feeling of dread continues, but I suppose I should ask for more details. The samurai dog was yours, wasn't it? Oh, of course, I'm forever yours, my Edgy Wedge. Hold it! If you could just stick to what I asked you. Edgy, you missile bag. No. You really have changed, do you? When you learn to tell a take joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy. A present? Yeah, those studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. They were supposed to hand the dogs out to the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into a pushcart just to move them all. Those studio guys should have really delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So, did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instruction? Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you gonna stick up for me? Well, about that, see, after the show, I went to rest the dressing room. Because of my bread hip, you know. And there they were, the samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. But by preparation, you mean sampling them as well? Excuse me? Oh, I tried one and thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kid's show, their taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them. I thought, this is... well, what is it now? Oh, I know. You bet you want a box too, don't you, my edgy poo? Well, who might say no to you? But I'll only give you one. The rest are all for me. Looks like the lesson for today is that the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers. Good boy, Missile. He was pretty much a bigger help than I thought he would. But there are a few aspects I don't understand about what he found. In that case, you should keep on investigating until you understand. Now, my subordinate, continue with the investigation. Alright, I will. Wait sure that I proceed to do it at once to solve this case. Let's see. There's no trace of this room's fireplace being used. And job point is, smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of the facts, is it not? Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on the roof? There is testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? Ah, I see. So what you are proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically, the fireplaces of the neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you are implying? Precisely. Lady's undershirt that Missile found. Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug. If you know the owner of the undershirt, then hurry up and retire to her island. You have it all wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This
lady's undershirt. Are you seriously claiming it is somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. To the other side of the other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order. There's an X on the back wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can get a better look at it. What's in the wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace? Apparently turns. As suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighboring room. This is neighboring room. There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. But the fact that there is nothing special about the next room is what's important. It's the fact that there is a secret passageway through this room's fireplace. We know that the fireplace connects the two rooms, but how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as the masked tooth killer now, are you? No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip, so she could not have been the one. But unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing to do whatsoever with the masked tooth's murder. Here, the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any arguments you may have. Very well then, if you are prepared. I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good, I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie? I know that there is still something you're keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you! I should just hurry up and die already if that's how you're gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world and then kill myself. And throw everything into mass confusion. You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face, I mean, it's no use. A man who was ready to die is a strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. You caused an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie. I will never forgive you. Edgy. Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be amongst the innocent in this case, and that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. All right, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Alright, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore. But it's kinda ultra embarrassing. What exactly is so ultra embarrassing you can't tell me? Edgy man just said it was embarrassing, and so of course I can't just burst it out. You're gonna have to reason it out of me. It's your superior. I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie. Every intention to. How about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter?
Hold it!
You left the pushcart? Could you please clarify that statement for me? Yeah, so the wheels of the pushcart got covered in dirt from the rose garden. Would have made a mess of the floor inside, so Ambassador Alba said to just leave it. It would be rather impolite to dirty another country's embassy. Come to think of it, if I recall seeing the Pink Princess on my way to the embassy. And what was she doing? Nothing in particular, because she was being carried by some docs on a stretcher. It was incapacitated by the pain of her bad hip that she suffered during the show. So I came into the embassy, right? And then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador.
Hold it!
So you shook hands with the ambassador of the Kingdom of Alabasta, did you? Yeah, can you believe it? I did something really cool for a change. But honestly speaking, there's nothing interesting about shaking some guy's hand. Hey there, are you disrespecting another country in their very own embassy? As someone who's roots in this country, I'm feeling nothing but incredible shame at this second. Agreed. I apologize for his inconsiderate words. Now, Larry, please continue.
What is with all of you? You keep saying that kind of thing, and I'll tell you it's only lies. You're already telling us nothing but lies, so let it go and move on. All right, already. You don't need to glare at me like that, Edgy. After that, and until my next appearance, I have to free time yet. So I wandered around.
Hold it!
Larry, I want you to listen very carefully and take this to heart. The whole point of your life is to cause misery and pain to everyone you encounter. I know, I get it. I'm totally the bad guy again. I thought you were his friend. Don't you think that was a bit harsh? Langji says, true friends are bosom friends. If you're in trouble, call on your bosom friend whose shoulder you can truly cry on. Hey, bosom buddy, I hope you're listening carefully to my testimony. It's across your pea-sized brain, yet the agent is only out to arrest you, Larry. Now then, you were wandering around inside the embassy, and then what happened? Oh, man. These voices get me, man, I'm telling you.
Hold it!
I should hardly think that chimneys are that rare. Agreed, especially since they are a tradition of each of American houses. Plus, many grand buildings even have even larger and fancier chimneys. Yeah, but the kind of chimney I'm talking about is the really romantic type. A romantic chimney? It might sound kind of silly, but women seem to really enjoy them. I just had a good feeling about that chimney. Okay, so you want to play.
Hold it!
You suddenly wanted to play Santa? Well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. That was down at the Gourd Lake. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Yeah, sounds like you guys share a lot of history. Back to being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down the family's chimney, after all. Actually, it's worth worth delving into. What is it? Yeah. I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa quality stuff? Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang. Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean. Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to all people all over the world? Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to. I was, delivering a present to a child, not basking in a warm glow of love.
Objection!
Talking about his penis. He is talking about his penis. It's been the most elegant description of you I've ever heard. But a lie is still a lie. You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that? In any case, the person you wished to deliver a present to most certainly was this.
Take that!
Hey, interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect. Don't spread lies about me. I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldback so much that I tried going down the chimney. Ow! I advise you to stop right there and your bashing of a lady. Well, I must admit that I myself hardly ever have the want to run into it lately. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. The fact is, best of double of this.
Take that!
Larry, I'd like for you to take a look at this piece of evidence. No way! But it's not really all that important, is it? It's always like this, you're acting so high. I presented the letter, right? Must be that. Yeah, we're just gonna skip over this because this is. Larry didn't know one very important fact. Oh, so I have to get the old. I have to get the. Yeah, we have to get the order that she was. Yeah.
Take that!
This is something a lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress. But
That's not true, Edgy. She's the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me. Sexy beam, I tell you! You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle idiot, cowardly apparition of a man. You haven't been shot at all since we last met. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes? This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys all at all. Why do you all have to make fun of me to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, or was at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess room. That much we know for sure. Hey, Edgy, looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here, and it looks just like what you do in court. I guess the old boy still has something he'd like to say. Like she says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything's out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? So you think that all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was like it's a mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then, to top it off, because I became a suspect in a murder, that's what you really meant. Why would I ever put myself through such a humiliation on purpose? Yo, is that the Steel Samurai? It is. Hey, someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this? That was a confession, but as testimony. So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim, claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that? Sideways, you're my stalker! I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman who's only focused on one man, and one man only, and as long as Etty Poo is alive, I can't just drop him being lawful. No, I can't keep up with this shit. There's no way in hell. I'm so inspired! You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man. I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there's nothing further than me to prove at this point. What do you mean? Of course you've still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy. Proof, you say? Remember, Reggie, everything is evidence in court, right? I mean, evidence is everything in court, Larry. But I understand your point. Yeah, see, I'm totally a pro with this now. Very well, if you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. Alright, if I'm right...
Objection!
Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter. Hey! Why are you showing that thing to me? Wendy, I'd be descending on you from above tonight, your loving night. Well, isn't that just romantic? You were able to descend from the above. Were you, Mr. Loving Knight? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
Objection!
You can pretend to be ignorant all you'd like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit. This letter showing that the person lady was...
Take that!
I said you got penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again. What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English! You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye. Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing! There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching, but you'll have to wait until we're off of this crime scene. Hey, Edgy, save me from this scary man. Sure, if you're willing to make amends. Starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake. That wasn't me. Come again. It's a fake. Someone is out to get me, so they made that fake letter. Set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean.
Hold it!
How's your handwriting? My handwriting is atrocious, so I'd probably be in the same situation. Penmanship analysis. What's that? No matter who, all people have a certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent this letter. I'll never write another thing in my life. Tisk, tisk, tisk. No use, Mr. Loving Knight. For you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting.
Take that!
This autograph. Thank you for the jump scare. Oh, we have time. Okay, I'm gonna get some water. So we're gonna do that. I'll be right. I'm gonna use the restroom and grab some water. I'll be right back. Thank you for the heads up, by the way. Alright, I'm back. I have some more water. So we can keep the voices going. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our questions soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure. I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy. So he finally confesses. I saw the pink princess being carried around to the stretcher. Got worried, all right. I had to go into mini zoom, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney. That's a criminally overreactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy in a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney. Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure at conveying said sentiment. I'm really, really sorry. Larry, you may be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. Damn! However, I always knew you weren't the killer. I told you to trust me. Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you. Edgy, you're... Ah! We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. Ow. In any case, I believe we can say now that we know exactly what happened. Mr. Ladebot sought to climb down the chimney, not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet. So don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay? Ow! Hey, what? Edgy, what does that old man mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet? He means the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. It's exactly what I mean. We can't only rely on the words of a suspect after all. He may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. But the blood-stained samurai sword that was left at the crime scene. As long as there is no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite. Edgy, that guy! He looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me! I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler. I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. You can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon. But the real problem is for me figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. It's one game I can't afford to lose. I'm seeing parallels right now between older cases, especially with Larry being involved, because that motherfucker has one thing that he keeps fucking doing. Because we know how this person died. Like, we know exactly how this person died. So, I was the one who found the body of the victim to mask too. Besides him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect Larry Butts, in here too. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner never wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
Hold it!
If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Not so fast!
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence. You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. But come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you, or me, for that matter. This hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. I mean that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Alright.
Hold it!
See, we're the first to discover the body this time? This time? What's that supposed to mean? Better watch what you say. I only said this time because earlier Kay was the first to discover the body in Babel. And your secretary, Shina, was ready to accuse her of murder for that.
Not so fast!
Ha! So you're really going to use that excuse to call me suspicious now? Of course not. I was simply pointing out the usual pattern with discoverers of bodies. But in the Babelese case, there was proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, in this one, it's a bit different, if we know exactly where the weapon is. It's a samurai sword, yep.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood? Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. That sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty, and certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which means the suspicion the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. And this is where we're sort of the,
Objection!
I chose the wrong thing. Fuck. Redman, you better be good up there. Let's press again.
Hold it!
Covered in the victim's blood? Yeah, the lab results confirm the blood on the sword matches the victim's. But the sword is as dull as a vanilla envelope. It's just a press stage prop after all. The Steel Samurai is about safety first, so you can't use a real use like a real sword. Steel Samurai has spoken. The princess also appears to have something she'd like to petition to you personally. What would the princess would like to sit and wait for a day after eternity? Anyway, my point is that even though the sword is too dull to slice with, it's certainly heavy enough to bludgeon someone to death with. Therefore, You beat the victim to death with that thing. I'm gonna. This is where I have to do this, isn't it?
Objection!
Yes. Okay. I knew it was something. I knew I had to do that somehow. If there's stage prop, they'll break. Do you know what this is, Agent Ling? Yeah, it's a long spear, right? We used to use those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the most effective weapon after the whip. I think the whip is in a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the Steel Samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow. Let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there's not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Yeah! Deadly! Oh yeah, the sword and the spear made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. Hold on, I gotta deal with my cat. She's being annoying. One second. I love my cat, but sometimes, I swear. Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they'd make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. And I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. So Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him? Hopefully I don't have to talk this much. The voices get me, man. Ouch! This more is enough out of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the topic of discussion. The real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking this in a place of real logic is hardly as if I'm Karma way. And that's not no very clever. Miss Von Karma, you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of 40-year win streak will ever be broken. Perhaps it's for the best if it remains unbroken. I'm in the same boat, that's what I'm working with. Where no one should have conceived the notion to convict all defendants in the court.
Objection!
What a foolish statement from a foolishly fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There's nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I prefer is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. If that means that if that means the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth.
Knuckle fast!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask II without bending it. So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course, what I need is evidence that he can't refute. It's time to bring this to a close. It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So it's only natural that suspicion will fall onto the owner of said weapon. How long do you intend to cling onto that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we've left unturned. We have managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You've left no stone unturned? Is that a fact?
Knuckle fast!
If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, let me make it all crystal clear for you. I know exactly what the murder weapon was. I'm going to press on this one.
Hold it!
The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword? That's right. Even with luminol, which means there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Problem with Agent Lane's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? Yeah. If you believe that, there is no other door possibility left to open. And allow me to force it open
Not
for
so
you.
fast!
And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what many possibly be the real murder weapon.
Not so fast!
The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. They concluded nothing else that could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation.
Not so fast!
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you slander my men.
Hold it!
I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. That item is the real murder weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed Damask too. What exactly is it? A weapon which is not a single person yet to touch is this.
Take that!
The national treasure of Alabast. You mean the Primito statue? Yes, and as you know, the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
Not so fast!
Ha! You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident. Between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babel. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in balance. Or a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction of the statue is facing before and after the crime scene are different, and there is only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He is most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please, let's be rational about this. Lang Shi says. Just go already! Yes, sir. Shifu. Yeah? I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Primito statue. Let's see. Wait. But since the investigation is at a standstill, Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. He may act all weak and frail, but the old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you've got to be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know. Agent Lang, what do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already. But Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet! I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so someone is going to take responsibility. Let it be me. Responsibility? If we're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, let's talk more investigating. To know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol... Yes, something like that. I can't fucking say that word. Luminol test? Good thinking. This statue is the murder weapon, and some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensic team in here. Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. Guess this means that this is the real murder weapon that killed Damask too. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damask too, so the charge remains. You're hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. Yeah, you think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. And what do we have here? This dirty smudge looks like a handprint. What a definitive bit of evidence he like you doing under here. Looks like we've got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. Looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Hey, forensics guy, I want you to run results on these fingerprints ASAP. You hear me? Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good, and? Sir, about the prints we looked from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Babylonis embassy? The prints belong to him, Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. Damn, Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. Each Primado statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually Babel's Primado statue. Impossible! It can't be. Yeah! Larry never once set foot in the Babylonis soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an alabaster knife in a Babel. And Damask, too, was killed on alabaster soil with Babel's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu who visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form. Boom, and there we go. We'll go ahead and end that right there. Go ahead and save our progress. It'll be ready for next time. It'll probably be later this week. Maybe Tuesday. I'll look for it. My actual birthday. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if I have any plans that night. But tomorrow we have the big birthday stream that'll be going on. Starting at around 11 o'clock. I figured around 11 o'clock is probably a good time for it. I'll announce that in the Discord here in a little bit. If you haven't joined the Discord already, feel free to hop in. It's !Discord. I think this link should still work. If it doesn't, let me know. I'll change it. I'll change it and update the command. But for now, that's all we got. So thank you guys for joining me. I got through quite a bit, so we're looking good. I like how this game is going. So hopefully we'll see how things go. So tomorrow we'll be playing the new Tales of Grace's app remaster. I'm pretty excited about that. So let's see who's going, and I will send you guys off. Let's see. We have Cloudy. And that's about it. Okay, I'll send you guys over to Cloudy. We're just playing some Metaphor, so if you guys don't want spoilers, like, say hi and then bye. Basically, kind of thing. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. For some Tales of Graces into ending the night with some Baldur's Gate. So thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Later.